It's Wednesday night. It's 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock Eastern time. It is time for Live a Life. We're sharing the new for 2022 show on my channel where I talk about stuff that interests me and I hope interests you. I hope it's positivity. I hope it inspires and enables. Listen, we've got some funny stuff going on right now. I don't know how every year can be dumber, crazier, sillier than the year before, but it's Groundhog's Day, people. You know what happened to the Groundhog today? He stayed under there and said, I ain't going out there, and it has nothing to do with weather. Y'all are crazy. That's not actually true. I don't know what he did. I don't care what he did. Listen, Puxatawny Phil is probably the smartest of among us right now. I can't imagine how silly things are as it relates to human beings right now. We're going to talk about a few of those things right now. First, let's say hello to people who are in chat. Then I'm going to go over the topics we're going to try to get to tonight. Talk about a special guest I'm going to have here at the end of the show. Sitting right here, right in the studio audience, right here in the YouTube man cave, right here in about 45 minutes from now. But first, let's say hi to people who are here in chat. If you're watching on the replay, thanks so much. Hashtag Team Replay, the best experience I think is live. It's every 10 o'clock on Wednesday night, 11 o'clock Eastern time. What is that? 8 o'clock Pacific time, other clocks, other places, depending on where you live. Let's see who is here. Michael Superbacker was the first one in the house. Everett Patriotism is in the house. Earth Central's in the house. Jay Skywalker's in the house. The Santa Dad's here. Kadani Sean's here. Mara in Memphis is here. She's in green. You know why she's in green? Because she's a member of the channel, and boy, is that a blessing to me and my family. Thank you, Mar. I don't think I missed anybody. If I did, don't take it personally. If you're watching on the replay again, hashtag Team Replay. You want to interact, all you got to do is subscribe to the channel and you can be in chat. And I try my best to keep up with that as life allows. Hey, Brian, what's going on, buddy? And let's start right there. I was a guest on the Talking Mickey Project tonight on YouTube. It's a podcast. It's a live stream. It's a lot of fun. It's a pre-recorded live stream, but regardless, it's a live stream. I wanted to drop the link. It was going to be the pinned comment up there, but I guess it hasn't populated yet. It's not up on their channel yet. So please, please, please go over to the Talking Mickey Project, subscribe to their channel, hit the little notification bell, and then when it populates, when it goes live on their channel, the replay, you can check it out if you didn't watch it live. I will probably do a newsletter. So if you're subscribed to the newsletter, if you're not, dolewhipdad@gmail.com, dolewhipdad@gmail.com. That's how you get on the newsletter. I'll probably do a newsletter tomorrow to promote Anna and the interview that I was the guest on because I wanted to promote it tonight. Okay, makes sense. Also, I'm going to be home all day tomorrow because it's falling from the sky. There's little pieces of ice and they're landing on the streets and it's going to make it a freaking mess in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I've got things. I can work a little, but, you know, it is what it is. I see some more people coming in, including a member of my channel, Tina DCS in the house. Anna's in the house. We'll have to Team Replay. Just saying hi. 90 night, 4 a.m. where she is. Wow. Anna, I appreciate you being here. Go to bed, girl. But I'm glad you popped in. Kadani Sean's in the house. What's going on? Hope your wrist is doing good. Brian's in the house. Strongly recommend that video. She is an awesome interviewer. Yeah, I love that family. I love that channel. You should check it out. It was a lot of fun. I really had a good time. I feel like I missed Dean Turkey Lakesters in the house. What's going on, my man? Hope you're having a great day. Okay, topics for tonight. Joe Rogan and cancel culture are getting on my nerves. Cancel culture is. Whoopi Goldberg makes a huge mistake and might quit. We're going to talk about that. The View is not a show I've ever watched, but I see pieces of it all the time, news and YouTube, and boy, that's crazy. CNN's president quit today, and it's a total fake reason why. Brian Flores, the NFL, is being sued by a former head coach named Brian Flores. He used to be the Miami Dolphins coach. He's suing the NFL. I hate it when people sue. I am almost never on the side of somebody who sues, and I'm totally on his side. We're going to talk about that. The NFL is stupid. We're going to talk about it. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson talks about Joe Rogan. We're going to talk about it now. He's getting some hate. What did Gina Carano do? Why did she get fired compared to what Whoopi's done and Joe Rogan's done? We might even talk about the guy from The Bachelor, although I doubt it. And then at 10:45 my time, in 40 minutes, sitting right here will be my daughter, Reagan. And we are going to review Yeah, review the best, the most epic, the mind-blowing, Mar, I'm looking at you, the amazing, the spectacular episode from today on Book of Boba Fett. Now, I'm not going to say anything about it until 10:45 in 40 minutes. So you can stick around if you don't want any spoilers. But at 10:45, when my beautiful daughter sits right here, spoilers will be flowing from our mouths, okay? But I will say this, best episode ever. Oh my gosh, best episode ever. Okay? And then we'll see what else we have to, how else we can save the world. Mara Memphis in the house, Dina, see who else. I think I said hello to everybody. All right. What did Whoopi do? All right. This is a little nuts. So Whoopi Goldberg was suspended today by The View. Now, am I a Disney creator? I don't know. I love Disney. I create content here on the channel, and I love Disney, and we talk about Disney a lot, okay? Disney owns ABC. ABC is The View. Whoopi is a Disney legend, and I care about Whoopi. Now, let me be blunt. As a fan, I loved Whoopi when she was Sister Whoever in Sister Act. Hilarious. 300 years ago, it's like I told a joke in the 4th grade. Since then, she hadn't done anything I'm a big fan of, except for one other thing. She hosted the Watch the Disney Parks Turn into Christmas special on, well, now it's on Disney Plus. Other than that, I couldn't care less about her career. Nothing personal. Just, Sister Act was it for me. But she's a Disney legend. She's now the head host of The View. Probably the worst TV show on TV, in my never so humble opinion, but people like it, I guess. Sister Mary Carlin's. Okay, that feels right. Sister Mary, I remember that. Hilarious. What a great movie. And if you haven't seen Sister Act, go back and watch it. So funny. Actually, Kathy Najimy, the craziest of the 3 from Hocus Pocus. That's where we all discovered her, right? So funny. But Whoopi's hilarious too. Totally worth it. Totally hilarious. I love that movie. Go check it out if you haven't seen it already. On Rat Race, I don't know about Rat. Hey, Earth Central, I don't know about Rat Race. I've never heard of that one. Regardless, I'm a fan because of the Disney things. I'm a fan because of Sister Act. I don't care about The View. I'm never home to watch The View. If I'm home at that time, I'm watching news while I'm working. It's never on The View, but I certainly see a lot about The View. Generally, I don't agree with The View. Doesn't matter if you do, that's cool. This is insane. Now, I've always hated cancel culture. I despise cancel culture. I think it's stupid. I don't want anybody to get fired for something they say. That's dumb. I think if you don't want to hear from Whoopi, you turn the channel. That's what I do. So Whoopi's on ABC's The View, and Whoopi says she's suspended for basically, I'm not going to read it. She basically says the Holocaust. First of all, here's a rule for life. Don't compare things to Hitler or Nazis. That's just a bad idea. It's not as bad as the Holocaust unless it's, the Holocaust. Hitler was really bad. Don't compare people, right? That's just, I don't care if you're right or left. That's just stupid. Whoopi Goldberg, okay, argued with the other people on The View. They tried to help her, and she basically said, and you probably all know this, right? The Holocaust had nothing to do with racism. And I think she was making racism a black and white thing only when Adolf Hitler was clearly trying to cleanse out the race of Judaism, the Jews. This is basic history. And my issue with this is 27-fold. One of those folds is, can we stop dumbing down education so much that a full-on adult who's got a microphone and gets to talk on TV is this ignorant? Now, I'm not mad at her for being wrong. She's apologized. Why are they suspending her for 2 weeks? I heard somebody on TV say this. I don't know who it was. It's not my original idea, but I think it was Billy Bush, which is it's not on a show I watch, but I'm pretty sure it was him. And he said, ABC, you're missing this. Let's have a conversation. Bring somebody in to interview Whoopi and let her talk, and she'll apologize, and we have a conversation. That's how we get better, right? And by the way, your ratings would be through the roof. Why do we want to fire her? And we don't. Worse than that, why have we fired other people for worse? So Whoopi said what she said. I'll get caught up in chat here in a minute. You guys know, if you're a veteran of my channel, I love me some Gina Carano. Why do I love me Gina Carano? 3 main reasons. One, she was amazing in The Mandalorian. 2, she was in the UFC, and I was a big fan. 3, she's the reason for the glaciers melting. I love me some Gina Carano. I unapologetically, I love her. And I loved her before The Mandalorian. I'm a big fan, even more. Now, she was number 1 or number 2 in, and again, I see chat rolling. I will get caught up in chat, but I'm not there yet. She was number 1 or number 2 in name recognition and being famous on the planet at the end of The Mandalorian on the planet. Number 2, I think. Number 1 or number 2. They let her go for politics. Let's talk about it. What did she say? What did Gina Carano say? She put in a Instagram. So she did 2 things on Instagram that pissed off people. You know how they put like a he, him, she, her. I hate pronouns. I don't hate gender pronouns. Well, yes, I do. I hate pronouns in general. I think they're lazy English. Gender pronouns, I hate even more. You know, I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. It bugs me. It's fake and I can't stand it. She put on there as a Star Wars character, beep, bop, boop. I hope I have that right. R2D2 noises, beep, bop, boop. People took it as mocking people putting he, her. I agree with that. It was. And then that turned into attacking a segment transgender people. Okay. So she did that. And then she also put up a post and later deleted it that said as follows: Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? That's what she said. She later took it down after pressure. Kathleen Kennedy and the people over at Lucasfilm, Disney, ABC fired her, okay? Or at least didn't renew her contract. Now, I'm reading all kinds of rumors, which I want to believe, but I don't necessarily believe, that she might come back. I think she might. I think it would be a good move. I think Disney needs to get out of the politics business. But this Whoopi Goldberg thing, okay, so they fired Gina Carano. I've never watched The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, but what's his name? Gets fired for something very, very soft. They're going after Joe Rogan. It's even dumber. The Joe Rogan thing's dumber. I actually read an article yesterday. Right-wing podcaster Joe Rogan. He's not. I've been a fan of Joe Rogan for years, again, because of the UFC thing. Wow, did I just lose everybody? It just went from like 19 people to 1 on my list. I hope that's wrong. If I lost everybody, hey, I'm going to miss you. But anyway, Joe Rogan is a liberal. Not that I'm not taking a political position here, but he's a liberal. He's a kind of a libertarian, but he's a liberal. You know, socially, he believes in liberal policies, but he's seen what he would say is there's been some crazy. Hey, Danny, what's going on, buddy? Joe Rogan gives opinions, but mostly he has conversations. He brings on people from both sides of the aisle and they have conversations. What's happened recently in the past 18 months is people have shut down differing opinions. It's insane. For instance, with COVID, and I'm going to piss some people off, but you need to hear it. Listen. Early on in COVID, there were some opinions. And then some people agreed with those opinions and some people didn't agree with those opinions. With using the scientific method, stay with me. Using the scientific method, it's necessary to have dissent. You must have disagreement to prove or disprove theories. Early on, we had hope and fear and theories on what the heck this is. We're talking about COVID here. Is it from a lab? Is it not from a lab? Should we get the vaccine? Should we not get the vaccine? It became political because Facebook, because Instagram, because Google, which we're on right now, YouTube, because Fox News and CNN, because MSNBC and all the others were so scattered. We're so angry. We so want to be mad at Whoopi Goldberg because the White House, and again, I'm not trying to have a political conversation. The White House said, Jen Psaki said yesterday, well, good that Spotify is going to put a warning on Joe Rogan's podcasts saying what? It's like, you ever go to McDonald's and you see the sign, hey, idiot, your coffee's hot? Hey, idiot, the podcaster who may or may not be high, he smokes on the show. He may or may not be high. He's a former actor. That's all. And he's inquisitive, and I think he's a great interviewer. I think he's a spectacular interviewer. But he's not saying this is the way. He's saying, I'm interviewing this guy, and this guy's point of view is this, and this gal's point of view is this. He talks about all kinds of stuff. I've learned massive things from his show. Now, let me talk about the truth here. Is people, I'll get caught up in chat. Well, I got a lot to listen to here. People are listening to Joe Rogan. He gets 11 million listeners per episode. CNN, who just had Jeff Zucker quit today, did not have one show that got 1 million people in the entire month of January. They didn't have one that got 1 million, and he does 11 million per. So truly, it's like the Twitterverse. This little tiny minority yells really loud and everyone jumps. Stop it. Here's what we need to do with Whoopi. Nothing. If you like Whoopi, watch her. Listen to her. If you don't. Vote with your feet. Vote with your eyeballs. It's just like this. If you don't like what I'm doing, stop listening. Stop watching. It's a big world out there. ABC's got something for you right now. CNN does. ESPN does. YouTube does. You can go over to TikTok. There's lots of opportunities for you. But the need to fire Gina Carano or the guy on The Bachelor or any of these other places, it's insane. Jeff Zucker, nobody's watching CNN. The only people who are watching CNN are people who are in the airports, right? Nobody's watching CNN. Since Trump has been out of office, the ratings have been so bad. Zucker wasn't fired for that. He was fired for having a relationship with somebody that came out in the Como investigation. He's been with this girl for years. It's been an open secret. There's pictures all over the internet of her. They're in public. Everybody knew it. It's fake news. There's got to be more. It's fake news. And why do we care? He wasn't fired because he crushed a company. It's insane. It's fake. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson comes out today and says, let me pull it up. It says, and again, the argument with the Joe Rogan thing started with Neil Young. Crusty Neil Young couldn't even sing good when he was big. You can be a fan, but I'm not. He couldn't find Spotify on his phone with 3 grandchildren helping him, all right? But Neil Young, who, by the way, is in the lyric in the, 1969, I think, Lynyrd Skynyrd classic, Sweet Home Alabama. We don't need you around here anymore. We're talking about Neil Young in the late 60s. I mean, that's how long he's been doing this. That's him they're talking about. Neil Young and Joni Mitchell leaving Spotify, as if that matters. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says, Joe Rogan's statement on Neil Young and Joni Mitchell leaving Spotify was great stuff. It was. I listened to it. You can't be listening to him and possibly think he's trying to hurt anybody. He's just asking questions and answering the questions. So now people are attacking Dwayne Johnson, which I find is hilarious. I told you what Gina Carano said. We're going to talk about that. Jeff Zucker, I'm over talking about. Let's talk a little bit about The View. The people on The View are really mad. The co-hosts are really pissed. I'll get caught up in chat here in a minute, and then we'll talk about Brian Flores, and we'll talk about a little bit about Star Wars here in a minute. The famed co-host is going off air for 2 weeks to reflect on her comments, and sources said her on-air colleagues are not pleased with ABC's decision. Are you kidding me? This is like when you were a little kid and your mom sent you to your room. Are these people adults? What are you doing? I can tell you what they're doing, and I'm right. They had to do something because they fired Gina Carano. It's the same company. They dealt with the guy in The Bachelor. Pretty sure it's the same company. They've done this to other people for doing less. How could they not? They were afraid of saying, well, because she's on our side politically, we were not going to do anything. So this is fake, but Whoopi's mad. I think she's going to quit. I really do. I would. I was once told that I was going to get a write-up in my file. This is 2 decades ago at where I worked. And I did something for my boss. So my boss did something. I took care of it. I fixed it. And they were going to write me up because somebody complained. And I went into the boss. I'm not trying to brag, but I said, you won't put that in my file. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but I didn't do anything wrong. You put it in my file. I can get a job somewhere else. I'll bounce. And I meant it. Not that I'm so perfect. Not that you can't write me up if I do something wrong. If I do something wrong, I'll say, oops, I'm sorry. And I'll learn from it. But if I don't do something wrong and you just need to have your pound of flesh, I got 2 fingers for you. If I were Whoopi, I would shut up about the Holocaust. If I were Whoopi, I would flip off ABC and quit. And here's the funny thing about Whoopi that I really, really think that people are ignoring. Her name's not Whoopi Goldberg. That's her stage name. She took on the name Whoopi for bathroom humor reasons. And she took on the word Goldberg for ethnicity reasons. She has said she is Jewish. Her family has said she's not. Yet she said what she said. I think it's insane. Yeah, Karen. So I'm going to try my best to get caught up in chat. Then when we're done with that, we're going to talk about Brian Flores in the NFL. We might talk a little bit about Tom Brady. We might talk a little bit about the Super Bowl. We're certainly going to be talking about Brian Flores and the NFL's stupid policy that's going to cost them and should. And it's a racist policy, and we're going to talk about it very, very bluntly. And then in about 15 minutes, my daughter's going to come in here. And we're going to talk about the Book of Boba Fett episode today. All right, I got the hiccups. Let me get caught up in chat. I'm way behind. I think with Danny. Okay, Danny said, hey, Jeff, how you doing? Danny, I'm doing great. Dean says I'm still here. Yeah, I guess it went from 19 to 1 to 19, so I don't know what that was about, but everybody's saying they're still here. I appreciate you guys telling me that. All right, liberal is different from libertarian. Night and day, Jeff. Yeah, oh yeah. Liberal is currently on the far left. Used to be about freedom. Now it's about what it's about. Libertarian, it's probably what I am, frankly. I mean, libertarian is nothing like liberalism. You can be a liberal libertarian or a conservative libertarian. Joe Rogan is a liberal libertarian. That's not the same thing. He's socially progressive and fiscally conservative. There you go. Roll call. I'm president. I think I'm president. Let's see. DDD in the house. What's going on? I think that Joe Rogan should not be banned, but I think his podcast genre should maybe be reexamined as it is political now. Reexamined? I don't even know what that means. So Jen Psaki on the White House yesterday said they're proud of Spotify for putting a warning label on it, but we can go farther. He's a podcast host, who may or may not be high. You know that when you're listening to him. Like, it's like that thing you go get your McDonald's thing and you spill it on you and it's hot. I didn't know. He's a comedian. It's a podcast. If you're he's not your doctor, right? And nobody thinks he is. And the thought that somebody needs a warning label is insane. The main difference between liberal and libertarian is views on guns. There's a lot more than that. You guys know what it is. You guys can look it up here now. Where to go? Tina says, what if it is political though? What difference does it make? Well, I mean, I don't know what reference you're talking about right there, but I don't care about somebody's politics. I like conversation. I'm a confident guy. I like having people disagree with me, and I like having conversations with people who disagree with me. I think that's how you learn. I think that's how people grow. This current climate, can I be real? 2 generations, maybe 3 generations of everybody getting a trophy has created people who don't know how to win or lose. Winning is a thing and losing is a thing, and you have to be good at both. Everybody's going to have times where they win, and everybody's going to have times when they lose. And just because somebody disagrees with you doesn't mean they're your enemy. Beating someone on the basketball court or on the football field or playing ping pong, Like that crazy competition thing is just weakness, right? Run him over, score the touchdown, hand the ball to the official, pick him up. That's probably the right way to do it. I'm not saying everyone needs to be me, but that's how I used to teach it when I coached. Acting like you're right and the world is wrong is weakness and stupidity. Patriotism, yes, you can play devil's advocate. Do it. Curious what has happened to First Amendment freedom of speech. You know, there are actually people who think that the First Amendment is a problem, and it's because they want people to agree with them. And I blame education, and I blame weak parenting for a couple generations. I think that we have taken out masculinity and taken out competition, and we've made people believe that we're supposed to feel everything, and it's pathetic. Liberals believe in government determines what you do. We will take care of you. Libertarian means you do you and I'll do me. Yeah, libertarian means leave me alone. And current classic liberalism is a lot different than today's liberalism. The easiest way is liberalism currently today believes that government is the answer. Conservative generally believes that government is the problem. That's very, very, very general. Feel free to be mad at me if you didn't like that. It got canceled due to COVID. Mar, good question, Mar. What did Mar ask? Did I miss a Mar question? Oh yeah, well we talked about first. Yeah, we did. Whoopi started talking and didn't think the whole thing through. I agree. I saw where she was going and realized even though she put her foot in her mouth, she had to finish. She apologized. I accept the apology. It was stupid. Who cares? Like what? When you lead a talk show, it's 5 days a week and you do it for years, you're going to say some dumb things. I don't believe. I cannot imagine a real human being who's lived on this planet and paid attention to general life doesn't know that Adolf Hitler was trying to extinguish a couple ethnicities. And by definition, that's racism. I think she just got caught up in the black and white thing. I know she did. She said she did. It is what it is. You talk in your own bubble. You go on your Facebook page and you talk to your own people and then you mock somebody outside of your bubble and you pop rap and you laugh at that. I mean, that's kind of what Whoopi is like, the queen of that, right? By no fault of her own, she's leading a show called The View that's insanely political and insanely in a bubble. And I'm not trying to attack them. I think the show is ridiculous, but maybe you love it. I don't really care. My point is they're definitely in a bubble. And she just misspoke. And even, I mean, shouldn't we give grace? Like, what I'm saying is not fire Whoopi. What I'm saying is let's stop with the cancel culture stupidity. Why do we need to cancel people? Why do we need people fired? Because A, they disagree with us, or even B, if they said something stupid. Like, who cares? I don't. Vote with your wallet. Amen. I mean, I love Disney. Disney owns ABC. I love Disney. Disney owns ABC. I'm not gonna stop. I mean, I don't watch a lot of ABC. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and tell you I do, but Disney is so huge. Like I go to church and I've got people who are at church like, how are you a Disney fan? They're so bad. No, you're looking at, it's such a massive company, right? They're going to have Christian night at the parks and they're going to have other nights at the park too. And maybe I would go to one and I wouldn't go to the other. I don't need the entire, speaking for me now, I don't need everyone to agree with me. Matter of fact, if that happened, I'd probably start reassessing my point of view, my worldview. And I think that's a healthy way to go. Like, I would rather be in the belief system of less than 50% almost always. Like, I think that generally majorities are bad. That's why our founding fathers were so amazing. Going to get a little patriotic here right now. Our founding fathers knew that the majority could really do harm. The majority, 51%, 80%, whatever it is, could smash the minority, and that's bad. We're supposed to protect minority rights. That's why we have the Electoral College. That's why we have 100 senators, 2 per state, yet we have the representatives and we have the senators. The senators are the deliberative body, and you're supposed to have 60 votes, and you're not supposed to move on everything. And then the representatives are kind of the crazy people, AOC and others. And that's the right way. It was beautiful how they set it up. The goal, politically, government-wise, wasn't to do a bunch of stuff, though it was to only do stuff if it made a lot of sense, right? And then these checks and balances in the Supreme Court. And I'm not trying to have a civics class here, but just because you want something doesn't mean you get it. And just because you're in the majority doesn't mean you should be able to do things to the minority. That's called tyranny. All right, let's keep going. We need like 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Mark, you're not allowed to speak freely unless you say what the elitists say you can say. Yeah. Aha, COVID killed freedom of speech. No, people kill it. COVID was a horrible thing. By the way, it's dangerous to talk about COVID on YouTube. Did you see what Johns Hopkins, who's been the leader in data on death counts and hospitalizations and all kinds of stuff, most of the TV stations were using their data for months and months and months. You see what they came out with today? Yeah, you did. And if you didn't, you should look it up. I believe they are correct, blah, blah, blah. But what did you hear the girl saying? But did you hear the girl? Yeah, as she should. What? Jeff Zucker and the girl have had a long-term relationship. Jeff Zucker is divorced. She's divorced. Who cares? This goes deeper, and I don't want to dive into it too much, but it's the Como brothers who are the pigs here. I don't care about Jeff Zucker at all. At all. If he should be fired, it's because he's ruined CNN's ratings. He's being fired for having a consensual relationship while he's not married and she's not married. That's fake news. I'm just going to stay in my house and only talk and chat with my friends, trying to make themselves relevant. Yeah, if you're talking about Joni Mitchell and the other crusty guy, I can't see Disney firing Whoopi. She might quit. I'm not going to fire her. Let's see, either fire her or pay her. I don't think they're. Jeff has been saying he'll get caught up in chat for 10 minutes. Meanwhile, chat continues to roll forward. I know they gave Roseanne the boot. Exactly. Roseanne's another good example. By the way, I've never liked Roseanne. I think she's a pig. I've never liked her. Never liked her. Never liked the show. Never liked her spitting at the Padre game while she's singing the national anthem. Never liked her. Don't understand how they could fire her for that. And I think she's a pig. So there's that. If people know how I feel, I'd be canceled big time. I don't cancel me. I'll tell you how I feel. I mean, I don't need you to agree with me. I don't mind you knowing how I feel. I don't even want people in my life who think that because they think different than me, they're better or worse than me. Either way, that's insane. I don't care. They can delete themselves from my life. The fact that her name is, I know exactly. Whoopi hasn't had the best health, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Gotta go. Say, CJ, I will catch the review after I have to watch it later. Yeah. Hey, Annie, what's going on? I haven't watched the episode of Boba Fett yet. About 5 minutes, we're going to talk about it. I'll give you like another minute when we start. So everybody knows they can go. Did I miss it? I'm 20 minutes late. We're still going. Hey, Fulton, what's going on? Yeah, the groundhog. I'm glad Rogan has conversations with a wide range of people. I mean, I love the Rogan show, and I've watched some of his crazy stuff. He's had the crazy guy, Alex Jones, who's crazy conservative. He's had, what's the guy from Twitter? I can't think of his name right now. Dorsey from Twitter. And he listens to both sides, and I love that. And I learned from that. I mean, I've learned a lot of stuff. I love his show. Unapologetic, big Joe Rogan fan. And again, I'm far from alone. 11 million listeners per episode. In the month of January, CNN had a total of 0 shows that got 1 million people to watch it. I mean, come on. Anyway, Kadani, Sean, what's going on? Good night to you, buddy. Hatbox goes in the house. I saw Joe Rogan name did a quick out. Hi, all. Saw the Joe Rogan name and did a quick out. I don't know what that means. But yeah, under the Nostradamus prophecies, Hitler was one of 3 antichrists. You know, I bought a book about Nostradamus years ago. It's just interesting folly. There's nothing there. Hey, Mouse Ears and Magic, what's going on? Be safe if you're driving in ninja mode. Instead of canceling her, bring on guests that can educate her so her and many others can learn from her mistake. Canceling doesn't teach anyone anything. I deeply agree. Canceling You know, we used to make fun of the hall monitors in school. There's this thing about rules and the need to control other people that's inherent in humans, but it's disgusting. It's why if you have a friend and he or she says they're going to run for office, tell them not to. All right, we'll get started in 1 minute. Come on in. We're going to finish the chat, and then we're going to get going with the Book of Boba Fett here in a minute. So she's going to sit here for a minute, and we'll get rolling. People say stupid stuff all the time. Nobody should be canceled because of stupidity. Amen, Brian. Amen. Almost done with chat, and then we'll get going on that. The problem is civics isn't being taught in high school camp. Brian, there's nothing being taught in high school anymore. I've worked with the public school system for 20 plus years now. It gets worse every year. Sorry, truth. Everybody knows that it's ugly. But you're right. They don't know civics at all. The argument against this electoral college is fully political, and it's people who are in positions of power who probably can't spell the word electoral. Sorry if that sounds brutal. Guests can talk about unless she accepts what I'm saying. I can't educate her, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't know why people go to The View. Like, I'm not quite sure what their target audience is or what their goal is. Is it education or is it entertainment? But Whoopi? Is anybody really trying to get their information from Whoopi? I can't imagine that's true. Nico says, we are the only country with a First Amendment free speech. Amen. Amen. ABC made a point to show Whoopi is not bigger than anyone else. I think Anna's right, and I think that they had to do it. I dare Twitter to try to cancel me. I could use the exposure. Or Central. I like it. I hear you, Mar. Whoopi is claiming ABC who screwed things up. Blah, 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 blah. Hi, Reagan. You look beautiful, Reagan. Mar and Tina and everyone else are saying hi to you. Okay, so this is your last chance. I've got the Brian Flores thing still to talk about. So we're going to talk about that really, really quickly over the next 2 or 3 minutes. And then me and Reagan are going to talk about the Book of Boba Fett. So if you haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett yet, Everett saying hi to you. Patriotism saying hi to you.
Hello, everybody.
If you haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett, you got about 3 minutes to leave, okay? Me and her are going to talk about it.
There will be spoilers.
We will be giving out stuff. So you need to leave now. Okay, I see, 17 in the chat. In about 3 minutes, we're going to be talking about the Book of Boba Fett. This is your chance to leave. Love you. See you later. Before that,
if you haven't seen the latest episodes of Boba Fett, what are you doing? Go on Disney Plus and watch it.
Go watch it right now. Honestly, when the show's over, I'm probably going to watch it again. That's how good it was. But
yes,
but that's enough of that. It was so good, right? So we're going to talk about that in about 2.5 minutes. So you wait for 2.5 minutes. You just be beautiful right there.
Hey, that's not that much of a challenge.
Brian Flores is the former head coach of the Miami Dolphins. The NFL has a rule called the Rooney Rule. The rule states that when you have an opening for your head coach, you must interview someone of color in that interview. So let me say that again. Good night, Anna. The rule is if you have an opening for head coach, one of your 3, as a minimum, interviews must be a person who is a person of color, a minority interview. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. And here's what happened. Brian Flores was fired by the Dolphins. Stupid fire. Brian Flores should have been kept, my opinion, but they fired him. The Giants and the Broncos, I think, were interviewing Brian Flores. Bill Belichick's friends with Brian Flores. Brian Flores texts Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick says, hey, good luck. I hear you've got it. Coach Belichick thought he was texting somebody else. Brian Flores figured that out. Bill Belichick let Brian Flores know, not on purpose, that the Giants had already decided who they're going to hire. And he wasn't Brian Flores. But they had to interview Brian Flores so they could get the Rooney Rule checkbox. They had to interview someone of color because of the Rooney Rule. So Brian Flores was humiliated and made to sit through an interview thinking he had a shot for a job when he only was there to fulfill the rule. Jerry Jones, the Cowboys coach today, or head coach or owner today, said, the NFL can do better. Yeah, you can. You can get rid of this rule. The thought process that you need to make people interview people of color is racist, because it means you don't think they'll get the jobs otherwise. Now, if the owners are racist, do better with who you allow, and they do get to pick who owns their teams to be an owner. But the idea that that's the case is asinine. In the NFL and in sports in general, they want to win. And Brian Flores is a good coach. You can win with Brian Flores as your coach, clearly, and plenty of others. That rule is racist. It's interesting. I'm going to talk a little politics here. I apologize, not really. The Supreme Court this year is going to rule on affirmative action. Do you know what that is? The taking of people, letting people come to your college because of their color, not because of their merit. And over the last 20 to 30 years, we've fought against merit and decided to have affirmative action and quotas. And the Supreme Court this year is going to rule on if affirmative action is racist or not. And I'm here to tell you that they will find that is racist. It will be struck down and no affirmative action will be allowed anymore. And isn't it interesting that our president is about to put somebody up because of their gender and their ethnicity? It's insane. Brian Flores is going to sue the NFL, and Brian Flores will win. He won't win the suit. They will settle out of court, and he will get paid. And he should. So saith me. I'm going to get caught up in chat, and we're going to talk. You have any idea what I was just talking about?
No.
You don't care about football at all?
No, I'm not a football girl.
We're going to talk about the Book of Boba Fett here in a minute. Bouncing all over the place. Let me get caught up in chat, and then we will get going. I haven't seen any of them, and I don't care, but I am tired, so I'll watch the rest. Martina, I appreciate you being here. Have a great night, my friend. I've been busy with earthquakes, and I actually got a few quakes to cover. Nice. Hope everybody's safe, but I love that. Watching it again will be informative. Nice. I don't watch Disney Plus, so I guess I will stay. Thanks for staying, Everett. These rules are so stupid. Hire the person best fit for the job. Amen. I mean, the arrogance and the frankly racism to think that, I'm not saying there's no one that's racist, but to think that the NFL wouldn't hire someone. Jeez.
Sorry, didn't mean to do that.
It's just so dumb, and it's racist, and it's fake, and it's disgusts me. This explanation sounds like being forced to have a token. Oof. Yeah. Oof. We need equality of opportunity, not equality of... Exactly, Nico. Well said. Same with disability too in interviews. I bet in Paralympics too. Maybe. Honestly, I'm just waiting for Biden to nominate Candace Owens just to watch the left pad. I love me some Candace Owens. All right.
It is officially.
You've got to go. If you haven't seen it yet, you've got to go. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are talking Book of Boba Fett right now.
Yes, and it is officially, as I like to call it, Star Wars o'clock.
Star Wars o'clock. So if you don't know, you don't know. I'm going to tell you right now. We used to have a show on Saturday mornings. We're trying to figure out when we're going to put it. Maybe it'll be on Saturday mornings. Maybe it'll be on Tuesday nights. Maybe it'll be on Wednesday nights. We're not sure where it fits in our life, in our schedule. But we talk about weekly Star Wars. We've been on a little bit of hiatus since the holidays. Night, Anna. But we love Star Wars. We've got, Chewbacca's right there, right? We love Star Wars. And
Baby Yoda is on your shelf and a stormtrooper next to it.
They're hers, but I put them up there for you guys. Listen, we love Star Wars.
And I have this little guy.
The Mandalorian was great.
Definitely.
I'm not going to lie to you. Until last week, I was not all that excited about the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, the episodes were so slow.
But last week we saw, it's time. You got to go. Spoiler alert, it's coming. Mando.
You have 10 seconds before I turn on the blade, and then we start spoilers.
All right.
1,
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spoiler time.
You're so fun. I love that. So last week we had Mando. Basically, the show was another episode of The Mandalorian. All of these shows are Stormy Stitch. What's going on? Spoilers are coming. Yes, spoilers are coming. All of them are an extension of The Mandalorian. It's the same universe. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are doing it.
Yes, Dave Filoni is a legend in Star Wars.
Dave Filoni was the director of today's episode. Again, last week's episode was all Mando. Today, who was your favorite? Who of the characters that we saw? Who was your favorite? I mean, I honestly don't even know what. I mean, I do know who my favorite one, but there's so many great ones.
It's the time between Mando and Grogu with this latest
Spoilers, one. Mando's in it, Grogu's in it. Who else was in it? Luke was in it.
Ahsoka.
R2-D2, Ahsoka, your favorite character.
She's one of my favorite characters from Rebels.
Yes. Cad Bane.
Yes, I had almost completely forgot. When I saw him appear, I thought I was going to bounce out of my chair.
That was the
I
best
was flipping
scene.
out.
This is the best episode of the Book of Boba Fett ever,
Agreed.
By far. I got to be honest with you. 2 seasons of Mandalorian, 1 season of Book of Boba Fett. This is probably this might be the best episode of them all.
Agreed.
Like I think the last episode of the Mandalorian probably is the best one, but wow.
Agreed.
Luke.
Without question.
Training baby Grogu.
It was so cute watching them, and it was so
Ahsoka.
Cool how we got to see Luke building his school buildings.
So good. Yes, Jon Favreau was Paz Vizsla's voice in Clones. Yeah.
So that's who it was.
Yeah, we talked about that today.
Which does anyone want to know why the name Vizsla means something to
I
Darksaber?
do. I don't know that. I need to know.
So if you have seen Rebels, then you will know that the Darksaber was created by an ancient man who was both Mandalorian and Jedi. His name was Tar Vizsla, who was the very first Mandalorian ever inducted into the Jedi Order. After he died, members of Clan Vizsla liberated the saber from the Jedi Temple. They used it to unite their followers and strike down their enemies. For a brief period of time, House Vizsla ruled all of Mandalore simply by wielding the Darksaber. It became a highly respected symbol.
Are you reading this
other
somewhere?
clans and respected by all the others. And very few Mandalorians had the guts and the sense to challenge Clan Vizsla for a long time.
Are you reading this? Like, do you have that memorized or something?
I have it memorized.
I barely know what she's talking about. But I love this show. Now, I don't know the Clone Wars and I don't know the
Rebels.
Like she does. I don't. I've never seen any Rebels and I've only seen some of the Clone Wars. But I love me some Dave Filoni anyway.
Yes.
I'm never seeing it, but they keep hitting that thing. I loved this episode so much. So Stormy Stitch says, saw his hat and you knew who it was. Exactly. Wish Mando had asked Ahsoka about the dark side. Yeah, me too. Jeff, we missed Reagan. You must never keep her from us ever again. Got it? That's what is it, Tina? That's what Tina says. We want to figure out a time that it works. Like this, the Saturday show, and this is my favorite thing I do. Of all the things I do on YouTube, this is my favorite. Why? Because I'm with my kiddo. So yeah, I totally agree with you. I saw that, Fulton. Congratulations, buddy. So anyway, I love that we had Luke. So let's start with, we saw R2-D2. And I remember I said to you, oh, we're going to have Luke too. Then we have Luke. He's training baby Yoda, Grogu, whatever. He talks about Yoda. He helps Yoda remember things. At the end, he gives Yoda a choice. Is Yoda going to be a Jedi or he's going to be friends with Mando? You can't have both, he basically says.
And I think the reason he did that was because he knew as well as I do that Grogu's heart just isn't in it.
I think that
I could
Luke...
tell by the way he was moving that his heart truly isn't in being a Jedi. And I think the only reason he agreed to go with Luke was because he needed to get his abilities under control. And clearly he has that now. And also, Luke
it's the
said
whole
himself
attachment thing.
He can tell that he doesn't think his heart's in it, and he has already forged a too powerful of a connection with Mando to be a Jedi.
And you tell me if I'm wrong. Aren't Mandalorians generally not buddies with Jedi?
Yes.
They differ in what their beliefs are,
and
right?
Mandalorians have been enemies since the dawn of the Old Republic.
And it comes down to their...
Which, for the record, is basically like 1,000 years.
Okay.
Or 10,000.
And
so
basically,
you get the picture. Mandalorians, Jedi, enemies for centuries.
And it comes down to attachment, right? Mandalorians are attached to each other and their younglings. Is that what they call them? Downlings.
Yes.
Downlings?
You see, Mandalorians are trained. Mandalorians are taught ever since childhood that there's no weakness in attachment.
Where Jedi are told
there is weakness in attachment. So it's not just the fact that they don't get along. It's that they have a complete opposite idea.
So what side are you on? Because I got to be honest with you. Attachments are a weakness, right? Like, I love you guys. So if you guys were put at risk, I would defend you even if it put me at risk, right? Like, it is a weakness to have that. So it's almost like a priest kind of thing.
To be honest, Dad, it's not exactly about attachment or weakness. It's about how you use it. Your emotional attachments can either cause weakness or cause strength. It all depends on how you let your attachments affect you.
My attachments drive me crazy, but I love them.
Yes, I can tell.
Then why is Luke forcing Grogu to choose between Beskar Mail and Yoda's lightsaber? Mandalorian, exactly. Mar asked the key question. At the end of the show, we see Luke asking Grogu to decide, to choose. Do you want Mandalorian's? I mean, did he steal it from Lord of the Rings? By the way, is that Mithril? Right? Is that what?
That's just
What's the guy's name? Frodo? Was that Frodo's?
Medieval knights wore something similar to that. They would wear things like that under their armor and clothes.
Did you know
basically a Star Wars version?
Did you know my high school was the Knights?
Yes, you've said that multiple times on live streams.
Have I?
I heard you mention it once on one of your live streams.
Okay. I think Grogu and Luke come in and say that, here I come to save the day. I don't know. I think that would be pretty cool. I think I loved this episode. I don't think we're going to see Ahsoka anymore. She kind of hinted that we're not going to. I think it's the last time we see Ahsoka until her show. I love that we've got Mando in with Boba Fett now. I'm sick of Fennec Shan. Can we do something cool with that? She was so cool in the last one. Can we do something cool? I think this was the fan service one. I love it. I think we're going to get back to the story of Boba Fett next week, which is fine now because now we've got Mando. But I loved this episode. Also, well, I've got one other thing I want to say, but let's hear from her. Go ahead, baby.
There's something I want to cover in actually the other episode, the last episode, the episode before this one. I noticed that for the first time in the episode of last week, Mando uses the darksaber for the first time, but he automatically starts to drop the saber, causing it to cut his side. And he said the blade gets heavier every time he uses it. You see, the darksaber isn't a normal lightsaber. It's old. And by old, I mean like 10,000 years old.
Wow. Yeah.
So the darksaber doesn't act like normal lightsabers.
So
you see, according to a Jedi in the Clone Wars, Kanan Jarrus to be precise, the darksaber is specifically when the blade is ignited, it's basically a current of power that's generating from energy from the wielder's body. Energy is constantly flowing from the crystal, generating the blade from whoever, and the energy comes from whoever is wielding the blade. So the darksaber isn't a simple blade as much as a current of power.
Cool. Mouse, ears, and magics.
However, I think because his energy isn't completely in tune with himself, because he's so worried about Grogu, that is why the blade isn't able to draw upon the energy and enough energy, and that's why the saber is acting the way it is. You see, if someone doesn't have a sound mind, they can't wield a lightsaber. It's both dangerous for them and those around.
Is there a scissors right there? I feel like there's. So I've got a surprise for Reagan she doesn't know about, but I need scissors.
Nope.
I need scissors. Can you go grab scissors real fast?
Sure.
All right, I'll talk to people. I say he chooses Din, says Mar. Nah, he's going to fall. What do you think Grogu chooses?
I say Mando.
No, leave it open. I don't know. I don't know. Here's what I really think, though. Here's what I think. I think we don't find out next week. I think we don't find out for a while. I bet we don't find out until either the last episode or to Ahsoka. I think we do not find out instantly. But to answer your question, Mando left, right? I think Grogu knows that he needs to play some defense here. I think he knows he needs to be trained. I think he's going to be a Jedi. What a sad moment, by the way. Was it beautiful or was it sad when Mando left? Without seeing. I mean, he said he's right there.
I could tell he wasn't happy to leave him. And to be honest, I'm not sure. After all, he did try to see him again, but the only reason he didn't was because he didn't want to cause a mess for him.
My favorite scene was the Cad Bane.
Agreed. I was practically on the edge of my seat the entire time that was going on.
Unbelievable. So cool. He looked so cool. It was freaking awesome. I love that scene so much. I love they brought Timothy Oliphant back. That was a cool character. He's gone now, whatever. Next week is the last episode. I don't actually know, but I'm not really sure about that. The entire series is leading into Mandalorian 3. I totally agree with that. Listen,
Agreed.
we're at 10:55. We're almost done with the show. We got like 5 minutes left. Anything else you want to say before I show you a surprise that I got?
No, we covered everything.
So I wasn't sure when I was going to give this to her. Okay. I wasn't sure. But I think today is appropriate. Mouse Ears and Magic says, here's my thinking. If he stays with Luke, then he will most likely die when Ben Solo snaps and destroys everything there. That's such a good point because
I agree with that.
It fits that he doesn't go. And we all want him to be with Mando, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's what I know. Dave Filoni's better at this than I am. Who's your favorite character in this episode?
It's the time between Mando and Grogu.
Who's your favorite character in the entire Star Wars universe?
Mando. We don't know anything about him, and I love mysterious characters. You can just let your imagination running wild with fan theories.
Who's your second favorite?
Grogu. For one, he's incredibly cute, and two, he's not to be underestimated.
Who is your favorite Star Wars character before the Mandalorian series ever started?
Probably Sabine Wren. Which, by the way, for anyone who would like to know, according to the Armor Forger, if anyone doesn't win the Darksaber through the rite of combat, the curse is unleashed. So technically speaking, since Sabine didn't win the Darksaber from Maul, she's the one who unleashed the curse on Mandalore, so she's to blame for this mess.
Mario, you're totally right. Who's your favorite character that has the last name Tano?
Ahsoka. She's literally the only one in the Star Wars universe.
I almost said your grandma, not your grandma. Your aunt, Jennifer. Happy birthday to you. My sister, her aunt Jennifer, is her birthday. I called you right before the show, Jennifer. Hope you got the message. Yeah, it's her birthday. Give my sister some love. All right, so I got you a present. Open it, but let them see. So I think this is appropriate. I thought she was going to say it's her favorite character. What do I know? Show them.
Ahsoka ears.
These are Ahsoka ears. They are created by, what's it called? Designed by Ashley Eckstein. Do you know who that is?
No.
Ashley Eckstein is the voice of Ahsoka in the Clone Wars. And fun fact, she's married to David Eckstein, World Series hero of Major League Baseball. Anyway, let's show the peeps. Do you love them?
Yeah, I love them. I've been wanting one of these ever since I saw a pair or since Payne showed me a picture of them online.
Oh, well, your daddy bought them for you. So there you go.
You are amazing, Dad.
So I didn't know how I was going to give them to her, when I was going to give them to her. But since Ahsoka popped on today, we were doing the show, I thought it would fit. But then she said that this person's like the 12th favorite. But whatever. I love you. I hope you would love it. Show your mom and your sister. I think that's it. Anything we need to get to? I mean, I hate to leave right when my sister gets here. My sister, when we're done here, I'm going to call you and tell you happy birthday. Zalika in the house. What's going on? Zalika! That's from church. We love you. Hello. How are you? Anyway, right here at the end of the show, if you just got here, you missed a lot. You missed Whoopi Goldberg talk. You missed Joe Rogan talk. You missed Brian Zucker CNN talk. You missed Brian Flores NFL talk. You missed all kinds of stuff, but we ended with some Star Wars talk. And well, I guess we ended with her putting on Ahsoka. Oh, on your birthday, Ahsoka Tano talk. Do you love those ears?
Yes, sir.
I can't wait for you to show. Hello from Isaiah. I love you. I miss you. Are you guys coming to class? I haven't seen you. Anyway, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great time. No class this Friday though. Oh, Isaiah, I need you. Help. Anyway, I think that's it. Did we miss anything about the show? Anything else you want to say?
We got everything covered.
You don't have to go, but you can't stay here. Have fun storming the castle. I'm glad you spent a little time with us. I did drop a video tonight about how me and my wife, prepped for Stormageddon #2. Maybe we'll see. There's ice falling from the sky. We're not sure what's going on. All I know is I am going to stay home tomorrow and have some fun watching some snowfall, which never happens, very rarely happens in my life. Anything you want to say to people before we say goodnight?
Thank you for coming. We love you so much, and have a fantastic day. Up with your hand.
I appreciate all of you. I'll see you soon. I might go live tomorrow night. I probably will because I'm working from. Jeez, I feel like I need to be safe. Reagan does rule, exactly. All right, I'm losing my train of thought. Zalika, you made my day. Jennifer, you made my day. Martin, Memphis, you always make my day. Tina, you always make my day. Guys, everybody, I love every single one of you. I mean it. Thank you. If you're in my area like Zalika is and some other people, hey, Paul, what's going on? I need you guys to promise me to be safe. Get out, stay off the roads tomorrow, stay off the roads the next day unless it clears up. Don't do something you don't need to do. Stay home, stay safe, put on some hot chocolate, and have the best day ever.
And guys, if you guys do end up going outside to get to your car, be sure to grab something like, if you guys have any Epsilon salt, use it to make a path to go to your car. That's what my mom and I did.
Also, pets, really 4. Pets, pipes, plants, and people. Take care of those 4 things tonight before you go to bed. Whoopi Goldberg needs a whoopee cushion. I mean, yeah. Stay warm. No one in DFW knows how to drive in winter storms. Exactly. Don't miss the bridges there. Yeah, I'm from San Diego.
Be careful on the roads.
I'm from San Diego, and now I'm in Fort Worth. So I am one of those people who has no idea how to, and no desire to drive on ice. Also, what is Dole Whip? What Tony eats. Also, what is Dole Whip? What Tony eats. Dole Whip is like the best thing in the world. Anyway, that's it. We're out. I appreciate every single one of you. We'll probably go live tomorrow. I'm not sure if we'll go live in the morning or in the evening. We might even go both. We'll just see how it goes, but I'm going to have fun in the snow. Check out my video from tonight. Yeah, appreciate you. Have the best day ever. See you soon.
Have a fantastic day.
Do you love your ears?
Yes, I love them. Thank you.
You're welcome. You can go show your mama. And Jennifer, I'm going to call you. Happy birthday.